And we have the agent for the first item, but the applicant, but we don't have the objector at the moment, so we have to see how we go with that. But we do need to start because we only have the one item. Okay, so we'll start with the normal issues. Are we online yet? Thank you, we're online. We're running a little bit late, but I think we'll be all right. For those of you who've not attended a planning meeting before, this is a meeting in public, not a public meeting. This means that visitors are allowed into the chamber to listen to the meeting. They may not call out. If this happens, I will adjourn the meeting to clear the public from the chamber. During the meeting, each item on the agenda will be taken in turn and will be determined on its merits, in line with planning policy and law. First, the case officer makes their opening presentation about this item, and then if a member of the public has registered to speak about this item, they will be invited to come to the podium and can speak for 3 minutes. The members of the committee can then ask questions of fact only about what the speaker said to clarify a point. The speaker must give brief factual answers. Then if the applicant or the representative has registered to speak, that person will then be given equal time and entitlement to answer questions of fact. The members of the committee may then ask questions of the planning officers for clarification of anything to do with this item. When all questions have had a response, the case officer's recommendation to approve or refuse the item and the reasons must be debated by the committee. Each member of the committee may speak just once in the debate and they may not ask further questions. When those members who wish to speak have done so, then a formal vote is taken to accept or reject the recommendation. If rejected, we need to propose an alternative motion with the reasons that encompass the concerns raised in the debate. Shall we do apologies? Do we have any apologies?
We have apologies from Councillor Pressland, and Councillor Tina Mackenzie-Ball is attending online.
Thank you. I think we have others online. Yes.
This is Councillor Zaharuddin, joined online.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Councillor Virgo?
Yeah, I'm attending online. Thank you, Chair.
Lovely. And Tina Mackenzie-Boyle online. Is that everyone online? Yep, that must be it, because we've got the rest in the room. What have I done? We don't have any visiting councillors either. So, okay. No other apologies. No. Thank you for that. Minutes to approve as a correct record the minutes of the meeting of the committee held on the 6th of November 2025. Does anyone have questions or concerns about those minutes, please? Did somebody contact me saying their name wasn't on the list? I think I passed that on anyway, so it should be right. Just please check if your name is on the list. And it should have been. Okay. No questions or concerns, so I move that the minutes are a correct record. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Sheila.
I'm happy to second.
Thank you. So all those in favour, please show.
Yep, that's unanimous.
Thank you. I should have added before that, of course, those councillors online are not able to vote. Thank you. Any declarations of interest? Members are asked to declare any disclosable pecuniary interests or affected interests in respect of any matter to be considered at this meeting. Any member with a disclosable pecuniary interest in a matter should withdraw from the meeting when the matter is under consideration and should notify the Democratic Services Officer in attendance that they are withdrawing as they have such an interest. If the disclosable pecuniary interest is not entered on the register of members' interests, the monitoring officer must be notified of the interest within 28 days. Does anyone have any interests? No? Nobody online? Thank you. Urgent items of business. Do we have any urgent items, please?
None, Chairman.
Thank you. Okay, as we still don't seem to have our objector, unfortunately we don't have, we can't ask our applicant to speak. Yes, Councillor Tina Mackenzie Boyle.
May I, Chair? I've just got a WhatsApp from one of the residents to say that she's suffering very badly and she's ill. So it's unlikely that the person that was supposed to be having the PS is going to appear. And I assume that PS position can't be transferred, or they can't. Is that right?
Yes, you're absolutely right, unfortunately. So we don't have any speakers for that item.
No, it seems not. It seems not. She's apparently really quite bad.
I'm
sorry, I've just got this.
I'm sorry. Tell her to get well soon, please. I'm sorry we can't have any speakers, but we must take it on the merits of what is in front of us and what the officers are telling us. Okay.
Yes.
So item 5, the Woodlands, Upper Broadmoor Road, Crowthorne, please. Officer, would you like to make your report?
Thank you, Chair. Good evening. My name's Sarah Fryer and I'm the officer presenting tonight. Before I start, just an additional to the supplementary, condition 10 requires the insertion of to the right when exiting the site after 2.4 by 4.3. Condition 10. So this is a retrospective application for change of use from a charity outreach facility to a school campus connected with Hurst Lodge School. The application is before you due to the number of objections received. Hurst Lodge School is an independent school, the main campus of which is in Yateley. The school is non-selective and provides a tailored educational support in smaller classrooms. Woodland will house up to 35 pupils. The building is curtilage listed due to its association with Grade 2 Broadmoor Hospital and is located within the Grade 2 listed Broadmoor Historic Park and Garden. Let me just share my screen, I'll get the presentation up. Okay. The only proposed alterations are to reconfigure the parking layout to increase capacity and enable pick-up and drop-off to work effectively. So this is the as-existing layout of the car park, where you can see all the parking spaces extending down the driveway. And this is the proposed rejigged parking layout using principally this space in front of the B2 nursery building, which is the porta cabin on the site. Move on to photos. That's the entrance. Sorry, going down too many. Oh. That's Upper Broadmoor Road to the outside, showing where parked cars were on the day of the site visit. This is now walking into the site up the the entrance drive with the car parking spaces marked. And again, looking back down towards the entrance driveway. That's the parking on the site, front of the modular building. That's Woodlands building itself. It was the old superintendent's house to Broadmoor. That's the central island in the site. You see that on the plan? Oop, sorry. Too quick. Again, that's going back down the entrance driveway. And that's the view up towards Broadmoor. Right, so if I go back to that. So this shows the proposed parking layout with the additional space being created through curb realignment and utilising the area in front of the Portakabin building, removal of parking bays along the access driveway. And you will note the provision of 2 disabled parking spaces. So the main considerations in relation to this application are the impact on highway safety, amenity of neighbouring residents, specifically noise and heritage. The parking has been reconfigured to provide 3 additional off-street parking spaces and remove the parking along the access driveway. 2 disabled parking spaces are also now provided. If I go to the final slide, there you go. The removal of the parking along the access driveway allows vehicles to queue in an orderly manner during pick-up and drop-off times. It also means that vehicles parking in these bays do not have to be moved, possibly onto the road, which has been the source of the majority of the objections to this application at the drop-off and pick-up times. Conditions have been considered necessary to limit the number of pupils and staff on the site, which is governed by the number of available off-street spaces and the surveys undertaken by the applicant. Conditions have also been imposed making it personal to Herschel School and to ensure the drop-off and pick-up operate without resulting in highway dangers to other users. The applicant has also agreed to enter into a Section 106 to secure a contribution towards installing a traffic regulation order to impose double yellow lines on Upper Broadmoor Road to prevent on-street parking outside the site. Given the measures above, the Highway Authority has withdrawn their objection and has concluded that the proposed use does not result in highway safety due to other road users, and the proposal is considered to comply with policies LP25, LP60 and LP62 of the local plan. The application was accompanied by a noise report. This has been considered and checked by Environmental Health Officer. Whilst it's acknowledged that the survey did not take measurements from the closest sensitive receptor to the noise source, the difference between the noise levels would have been less than 1 decibel, and as such considered to be insignificant, and this has been corroborated by Environmental Health Officer. As the application is retrospective, the noise report was based upon the actual worst case scenario of all the children on site playing outside, and therefore provided an accurate representation of the noise levels from the site. It was concluded that the proposal would not result in the loss of amenity to current residents. As the site lies within a heritage asset, in accordance with paragraph 215 of the NPPF, any identified harm to the heritage asset should be weighed against the public benefit. The Conservation Officer considered that there's less than significant harm to the heritage asset and that the harm is at the lower end of this scale. When weighted against the public benefit of keeping the building, which is a historic asset in its own use, in a viable use, and the safety benefits the changes to the car park would bring, these are considered to offset any harm. Therefore, with no objection from on highway safety, heritage or amenity grounds, subject to the recommendation on page 32 of the reports pack, the application is before you with a recommendation for approval. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. Questions for the officer, please? Councillor.
Good evening, everyone. It was interesting and worthwhile, the site visit on Saturday, I must say that. For Margaret, the problem being, or the reason before us, is because of parking problems that I consider outside or along that area. With doing this, one of the things that was brought to our attention, and sorry to go on about it, but could you just clarify for me, there is a pathway or some parking behind that belongs to Broadmoor that the dog owners utilise, because that one of the things that was brought to our attention was most of the parking problems are the dog walkers. Are we aware of that at all? Parking up? Just want it clarified.
With any on-street public parking, it's difficult to determine where the actual users come from. I know when I did a site visit and I sat outside at pickup time, there was one person that came back to the car that did not come from the school site and then drove off. But as to whether dog walkers accessing Broadmoor park on that stretch or not, I don't have any evidence to corroborate that or not.
And I have a follow-up on that. Besides that, what was also brought to our attention was the factor that because the children come from various places, not in our borough, that the majority of the vehicles were taxis, not families. Can that also, is that, because we could then be aware of what the movements are if we knew what the taxi movements are as well?
Yeah, my understanding is that because it takes a lot of children with special educational needs that have that have funding from local authorities. So it could be Bracknell Forest, it could also be West Berkshire and Reading, that attend the school because it is the best fit for them. And as part of that agreement, they get taxi services laid on for them. So, I mean, where the taxis come from will vary year on year depending on what children attend the school and where they come from.
Councillor Penfold. Oh. Councillor Penfold, you had your hand up?
I was really following up on what Councillor
Oh,
was saying.
are you all right?
That I have walked down that path at weekends without a dog, I might add, and there are always cars parked there at the weekends.
Thank you, that's helpful. Although not a question.
No, it wasn't.
Councillor Tina Mackenzie-Boyle, please.
Thank you very much, Sarah. Thank you very much indeed for your report. And can I say also to Joe, thanks very much for coming out. It was an extraordinarily useful site visit on Saturday. So thank you. A couple of things we've just spoken about. The section 106 when is that likely to be implemented, do you think, the yellow lines?
Through you, Chair, I think that's probably one for me.
Oh, yes, please. Thanks.
I will try. In terms of a definitive date, obviously the 106 needs to be completed and the contribution would need to be paid. And the consultation process, that is a separate process to the planning process that the Highway Authority would go through, would be programmed to start after that. I couldn't give you a definitive date. It depends on the capacity of the team that would do it, but it goes through the normal protocols that we have for advertising traffic regulation orders, where we obviously notify local members as well as the executive.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Supplementary chair, please. The school, does it have the normal timing for local schools? Does it? So I don't mean normal. Does it have comparable timing for the students to get into the school, like our, like for instance, Wildmoor Heath? I haven't done that very well. I'm sorry, I'm really suffering here, so you're going to have to bear with me. That's all I want to know is, do the pupils, in my notes, in full-time education there, do they appear at the school and leave the school at the same time as our local schools?
If I can, Chair. I believe that the children start the day and end the day at times that are comparable to local schools.
Okay, good. All right. Well, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Who do we have? Councillor Virgo and then Councillor Templeton. You're on mute, Tony.
Thank you, Chair. Cold gets the better of us, isn't it? Can I just ask, good evening to you, Sarah, by the way. Can I just ask, sir, this is obviously an outstanding building, excuse me, of some merit. Can I just ask that any alterations in terms of materials and design are in sympathy with grade listed building rather than just normal street stuff, and it rather ruins the entrance? What's your feeling, please?
Would you like to comment, please?
Yeah. Thank you. Through you, Chair. There's no condition on the materials, and there were very minor changes to the layout of the car park. So there's actually no real new materials to go in. The details of the traffic island and the ramps to the porter cabin building have been conditioned, so we will have control over those, and we will make sure that those are sympathetic.
Could I just ask as a simple supplementary?
Yeah.
I noticed there's a very old-fashioned lamppost there. Presumably that will stay, will it? Please.
We don't have details of that at the moment, but the agents are in the room, so I'm sure they'll pass that back on to the applicant. And
I just think it gives it some distinguishment, and that's what's presumably is the. I'm not going to make a speech because she'll be a question, but I would be very much grateful if that could in some way be sympathy and retained.
Thanks, Amy.
Thank you.
Councillor Templeton?
Yeah, I seem to have missed out where these ramps are going. Can you, is it just on the access road or is it somewhere else? No, it's not on the access road. So I'll thank you. I've missed it. Sorry.
Picture coming.
if I can, Chair, through you, because at the moment, because there's a larger area to the front of this building here, the B2 nursery building, the ramps extend into that car park area. They're going to have to be realigned to run alongside the building, and that's what the detail is seeking to get, because we haven't had that submitted with the application.
Thank you. Nobody online? Any more questions? Did I have any questions? No, I've no questions. So I must move the recommendation, which is on page, I've forgotten to look, sorry. On page 32 of the agenda pack, and the recommendation in the amendment to the recommendation in the supplementary report, page 1 of the supplementary report. So I move that those be accepted. Can somebody do a seconding, please?
Happy to second, Chair.
Thank you. Okay, questions or comments? No, not questions, for goodness sake. Comments and discussion, please. Councillor Mackenzie Boyle. I think.
Thank you very much, Chair. And through you, may I ask, please, would it not be sensible to have a reduction in speed and have a 20-mile-an-hour speed limit around this area for the protection and for the safety of the children, and also for the safety of our residents?
We've been through the questions bit, and we've just moved that we debate. I'm sorry.
So I'm asking, yeah. So I'm debating that. Wouldn't it be?
Well, it's not a question. Would you like to?
Through you, Chair, just as a matter of clarification, that wouldn't be something that would form part of this planning application. So I don't think that it's something that needs to be debated currently, but obviously it's a matter that has been raised with the Highways Authority, and due consideration will be given to it in due course.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that, Assistant Director. That's extremely useful. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Councillor Templeton, please.
Yeah, I was very thankful for the visit on Saturday, and I think the fact that there are many staff come on the bus, the minibus, and therefore that reduces the number of car parking spaces needed within the thing. But there are enough car parking spaces provided now within the site for all the staff, and the fact that it was the entrance is to be changed from being a single line to two, made it acceptable to me, I think, with the, if everybody can park on site and it's up that lane, which they can now go in and come out without it all backing up, made this an acceptable planning application. Thank you.
Anyone else? Councillor Hayes.
Yes, I'll reiterate, it was approving to be able to go and see the site, the building, and what was being given to young persons with requirements of special need. The building in itself is exquisite, and I hope that it's taken on board that that building is retained with the beauty of the area. I have no qualms that they are trying desperately to accommodate the movement of traffic. And if in the future, so therefore I would hope that we would all look towards this as approvable. But I would ask that in the future, even after the yellow lines go in and whatever, as soon as possible, that we do look at what the parking problem is with regards to the Broadmoor parking behind, because that was brought to our attention on the day. That parking area for usage could be done a bit better. Something for the officer to consider.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks. Anyone else like to speak? No? Would you like to? No? Well, I'd say myself, I was very pleased to have that site visit. I saw the difficulties of having parked on the driveway, somebody trying to get in while others were trying to get out, so that they had to back up, and then somebody else coming around the little roundabout that wasn't quite, there wasn't quite enough space for them to go round in one, they had to manoeuvre. So I think the changes that are being proposed are very valuable, and I hope this will be done as soon as possible, because it will ease lots and lots of issues for the residents around there. The noise thing, I'm quite happy that although a second assessment was requested, there was a rebuttal, and because the environmental people can tell how far away and how much noise will travel, so there is no real issue to look for those who are a bit closer than the ones that were tested, the residents that were tested. I hope you understand my meanderings there, sorry. Yeah, there are so many places in the borough where existing yellow lines should be refreshed and actively enforced, but this is very much a case in point with the curves in the road and the dodgy parking. We need to make sure that's good. I'm very pleased with what's going ahead. I'm very pleased that this lovely house is being kept as a working establishment. It's fantastic. And on that note, I have nothing further to say. Anybody else want to have a further comment before I move the vote? No? Okay. Shall we take the vote? Those in favour, please show.
That's unanimous, Chairman.
Thank you. And since our second item is no longer there, that is the end of our meeting. Thank you very much for attending. Hope we all feel better next month when everybody is through Christmas and the busy time of budgets and everything.